further uplifting our multi-faith mission and vision. It is Fordham's heartfelt hope that we can use this opportunity today to start a discussion or build upon the work already underway with your organizations, thinking about the ways to partner and lift each other up in the months and the years ahead. Before I close, I want to highlight a few initiatives and invite your participation in them. First, Fordham's EPA grant, Flourishing in Community. It's designed to distribute federal funding for sustainability, for climate justice initiatives to community and organizations who have often been shut out of the federal allocation process. We invite you to learn more about this work at the table in the back just outside, and we are accepting applications for this work through June 30th. We'd love your support in helping spread the word. Second, at the conclusion of today's event, we invite you to stay with us on campus and join our Eco Summit. Lunch is at 1 p.m., followed by inspired programming. There will be a golf cart departing from outside this building to take folks over to the Eco Action Summit. There will be signage directing you where to go. We'd love for you to be with us. Lastly, we're always looking for ways to collaborate. This may include volunteer programs, after-school summer programming, college tours for potential students, as well as figuring out ways that we can partner with BRICS, our new Bronx Research Institute for Community Solutions. In BRICS, we solicit research project proposals from the community with the goals of then using that research to create actionable solutions that uplift the community. There will be a discussion today about this program and the opportunities that we are pursuing at 2 p.m. at the Eco Summit if you are able to join us. So again, thank you. We are so filled with joy that you are here with us today. Looking forward to the conversation. Thank you.
Listen, one question, though. He said that there is lunch. Oh, I wanted to speak some more to talk about what's the plan for dinner. They're going to be here on your campus all day. Well, you came and you can stay for lunch, so that's good. All right, so very important. Someone gave me a pin that says not 62. And then I got this other pin as well, a sticker with these fine young ladies in the back. They're offering funding for nonprofit organizations. They have a lot of money and they're willing to give it away today. So make sure that you see them before you leave. I thought that's what you said to me, but if not, it's something in that area, right? All right, thank you so much. Good morning again, and Kadita Lloyd is going to start, and we're going to go down, they're going to introduce themselves to my left and then to my right, and then we are going to go with some questions, concerns. Now listen to what they are saying, and if you have things around those areas, then that is where we want the conversation. If no one mentioned, just follow the conversation so that we can have a good dialogue. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kenita Lloyd. I'm the Chief of Staff to the Chancellor for all New York City Public Schools. I'm very happy to be here with you this morning and looking forward to hearing your questions and concerns. Good morning. My name is Julie Harrison. I am the Assistant Commissioner for DHS under the Street Homeless Solutions area. We oversee safe haven stabilizations and drop-ins throughout the city of New York.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Pastor Manos, for acknowledging the Dominican community and their pain this morning. Our community is hurting, and thank you for having them in your prayers. My name is Jeffrey Garcia. I'm the Executive Director at the Office of Nightlife, the Mayor's Office of Nightlife, at the Department of Small Business Services. And at Small Business Services, we are the agency that assists all small businesses across New York City and workforce development.
Good morning. Andrew Holzmeyer, Deputy Chief in Division 7 over here on Webster Avenue. We cover fire operations for all the North Bronx. And we are on duty, so I apologize if we get a fire, we will have to take up.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony Perez. I'm the Bronx Borough Commissioner for New York City's Department of Transportation. We focus on street resurfacing, street pavings, pedestrian ramps, street lights, and a lot of the public space in New York City. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Manuel Castro. I'm the Commissioner for the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. Thank you, Pastor Gill, and all the staff who puts these events together and allow us to engage with our community members. We oversee everything to do with immigrant engagement and immigration policy. I'll have more to say. I'm sure some of you have questions around these issues, but I just wanted to thank all our community partners, many of which are here today, including Len from the African Council. Thank you so much for all of your collaboration with our office. We could not do the work we do with our immigrant communities without your support. I always say, I said this at the town hall with the mayor a few days ago, the work that we do in partnership with community-based and faith-based organizations are amongst the most important work we do. We understand that often our communities do not always trust government for many valid reasons, historically and so forth. And so our partnership with you is incredibly important. So glad to be here with you all and to be able to engage in this conversation. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Mark Stewart, Commissioner of the Community Affairs Bureau. I oversee all the light blue shirts all over the city. I'm also in charge of, I like to say in charge, I oversee school safety agents. I oversee LGBTQIA, and I also oversee the youth development. I also oversee the outreach, and I also oversee crime prevention. So it's approximately 5,000 officers that I oversee. But I had to take a step back when it comes to our communities. I've been doing this for 40 years. I was a police officer 1984, and I have seen a change in our community. And what I realize is that we can't go back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. We have to acknowledge that our black and brown communities weren't treated fairly. We can't keep on saying sorry, but we have to acknowledge it. I'll talk about it later, different programs I brought in our communities. And when I first came here, I had my own vision of what I wanted to do in community affairs. And sometimes God makes you take a step back, and it's not my vision, it's your vision of what you want your community to do. I know Pastor Bill's going to cut me off too. But no, we take this very serious because I oversee the clergy too. And I always say when I walk into a room with clergy, I just feel this positive vibe that we have to send to our communities. And I always get asked this question, so what are you going to do to build a relationship in our communities? And it's easy. We just have to keep showing up. And we have to show that we do care. And I use this too. I've been with my wife for 39 years. No. Let me get to the second part. There will be up and downs in this relationship, right? And I'm sure I wasn't her first pick. But that's what I mean. You have to keep showing up to show the community that you care and you're always there for them. That's the part I want to bring. This is a relationship. And guess what? This relationship, there's no divorce. We're going to be here and you're going to be here too. But as Pastor G says, it's not about a confrontation. It always has to be about a conversation. And I think that we have a police department that now we're more compassionate. And we're trying to trickle that down to our new cops too. But we're here to help you and I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you. God bless.
Good morning, everyone. Kieran Mahoney, I'm the Director of Outreach at the New York City Department of Finance. So what does the New York Department of Finance do? Anything related to your property taxes, not-for-profit exemptions, any other exemptions you may have related to personal properties, anything like that. I'm here to answer any questions in that regard. I'll keep it short and sweet.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Cliff Larishell. I'm the Executive Director of the Office of Neighborhood Safety, which sits at the Department of Youth and Community Development, or DYCD. And at DYCD, our mission is very clear. It's to empower communities and to make sure that we're creating safe and supportive environments for young people to thrive and to meet their potential, whether it's SYEP, our summer youth employment programs, or RHY, or programs, initiative for runaway homeless homeless youth or violence prevention work, we absolutely recognize the importance of working with the faith-based community to improve outcomes for all New Yorkers. So super excited to be here today. Thank you so much for the invitation and looking forward to a robust conversation.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rodney Gittens. I'm the Borough Commissioner for the Bronx. I'm here to assist you with all your construction needs, whether they be small or large. We're here to support the churches, homeowners, contractors, developers, make their dreams come true. So we help you foster your project. We get involved with it in terms of the design phase, and we'll be with you through inspections and through the final CO process. So if you have any questions for me, feel free. I'm here to assist. So you know I am a product of the Bronx. I was born and raised in the Bronx. I was educated in the Bronx. And I have an interest in the Bronx. So feel free. Let's see if we can make this thing, whatever you want to do, happen, because it can happen if we work together. Thank you.
All right, thank you all. All right, so we have the first round. There's a few things that we'll probably talk about now in terms of someone, Detective Amendry had a question about, education rooms, the nonprofit education. All right. Oh, sorry, we started the question earlier. Could we get a mic to, guys, could you get a mic with the next question?
So the question, through Imam Nas and many others through the city, they were concerned about meditation room at public schools. Do you believe there's rules allowed them to be able to utilize it? But I think there's some sort of that clear message of how the children and the parents can apply for this. If you can have some clarification, especially for Friday for Muslims.
Just before you respond to that, thank you for that. We are going to also work on, there's some questions about properties and taxes, losing status in this room. Who have that question? Pastor Sabino, you have a question to that? Okay, let's take those two and then we'll respond.
Okay, very pleased to meet all of the commissioners. May the Lord continue to bless you. And I see so much wisdom here. Perhaps my question would be to the person in charge of, I guess, are you a liaison or are you in a position?
He's it. He's the guy.
No, he's the money man. I'm talking about
he's the money
the person all the way in the corner.
This is it.
He's the man with the money. I need more than money.
Yeah, talk to him.
Are you talking about the building department?
Yeah.
Yes.
We are in 2868 Jerome Avenue, Heavenly Vision Christian Center, and we are a pretty good church, but we have been hit with so many violations that I'm very concerned as a pastor, and I would like to know how to deal with that. Who do I go to? Because the building department, we write letters, and then my architect goes in there, and it seems that he gets nowhere.
Okay. So, 1 second. Okay. Yes. That's what. Do you have anything else?
That's it.
That's it for now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, so we'll take take just 2 questions at a time. We'll go with the school, and then we'll go back over, and I think DOF should also respond to that as well. All right. Thank you.
So thank you for the question about meditation and prayer rooms and accommodation in our schools. So first, I want you to know that all of our schools are required to make a good faith effort to provide prayer spaces for those who need and request it. Not every school has a meditation room. I know you hear that prayer is allowed in meditation rooms. But the school is, if a school has a meditation room, that can also be used for prayer. If the school does not have a meditation room, then the student or the family can work with the principal or guidance counselor or their school counselor to make space for prayer throughout the day. All principals are informed of this. We did it at the very top of this school year. We continue to do those reminders throughout what I know of as we are approaching the very holy season of the year, with multiple faiths celebrating their respective cultures. We also offer, and I'm happy to take additional questions about that, and if anyone is here who is having an issue at a specific school making this accommodation, I have another member of my team here. Serge, can you stand up? Serge St. Ledger. If there's a particular school that you need support with, we're happy to help. Also want to share that every school offers halal options for school food throughout the year, not just around particular times of year, as well as kosher meals. And I know that those questions often come up, so I wanted to just offer that information to you. But again, if there's an issue at a specific school, please see us, and we will work with you through that accommodation for prayer.
Pretty good? You're on nice? Good? All right, thank you. All right, so we'll take Department of Buildings, we'll take Department of Finance, and we'll take the Fire Department on this one particular question.
Okay, with regards to your question, sir, violations. There's good violations and there's bad violations, right? Unfortunately, some violations are written in error, some
You only
violations...
have good violations.
Okay, then those are written in error, okay? But we have to take an assessment to see what those violations are, okay? And depending on how they were written, how they were issued to you, we can see whether or not they're one of those two. We take violations very seriously. If we have bad actors who are not performing work the way they should, they will get a violation or a stop work order. So in some cases, they may have misread something on your site, and we will be able to take a look at that and see whether or not that is something that was done. So what I'm going to suggest is that your architect come to our offices, see if he can meet with me or my deputy, and we can work with them in enforcement to see what the violation is. We have 2 days out of the month, we have what we call buildings after hours. It's from 4 to 7. So if your architect would like to come, or the owner, yourself, would like to come and discuss that with us, please feel free to do so, and we will assist you with that.
So you have a card, Pastor?
analysis. And we have brought in volunteers. They have to be cleared. They have to go through an application process. But it will happen because we have made it happen many, many times, which happens to Borough. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us. It's Holy Week coming up, so we are very happy that we have a lot of organizations coming in to do Hope Nights, which is prayers happening just not during the day, but also in the evenings to support our young people, because it's really during these holidays that is really one of the hardest times for our youth in juvenile justice, as you can imagine.
Okay, so I know I'm back with some questions, so I'll take them after we do our prayer. Yeah, so we have a few.
Thank you, Pastor. My name is Elder John, and I'm happy I'm talking to Lady Angela on this issue. It's a suggestion that I'm happy that the mayor himself is here to hear. Professionally, I'm a taxi driver, and so I walk through the city streets every day, picking up and dropping off. What is disturbing, and I'm happy to present it here for all of us to hear, is that you get to a pedestrian crossing as a driver, you stop, and then you see a full adult walking with a phone in his or her hand and leaving a toddler of 5 years walking on the street alone, something dangerous. And it looks as if there are no laws regarding that issue. And so they do it constantly and nobody do anything about it. I'll be much more happy that Lady Angela in charge of case are here and the mayor himself is here. I suggest that there should be this program they call Road Safety Campaign. And it's a documentary, they show it on television, telling the public how roads and pedestrian crossings and car usage should be done on the street, because highways and streets keep improving and keep expanding. We need to be educated how to use it. And I don't want a child of 5 years to walk alone. The parent is responsible to lift this baby up and walk with him or her. And if you are below 10 years, somebody adult should walk with you to cross the road. You don't know the condition of the driver sitting behind the wheel.
Thank you for that. We got you.
And the second suggestion is bus lane ticketing. Bus lane ticketing.
Oh.
Bus lane.
Okay.
I am a taxi driver. There are as many as over 170 taxi drivers in New York City. They are serving this city economically. Bus lanes are done at the edges of the roads. And so we are forced by our profession to stop there and pick up and drop off. Buses come, they have cameras, they pick up our numbers, they take pictures, and then we are being ticketed every day. Please, give us a grace period. You cannot stay there beyond 10 minutes. At least by 10 minutes, whatever drop off you do it. Whatever pick up, you do it. And then the ticket can come. You cannot get into the lane beyond 5 minutes. Then the ticket can come. But giving us tickets whereby we are also serving the economic interests of the city is borderless. Mr. Mayor, I salute you. Thank you.
Thank you. We say we agree to all of those. Yeah, we agree to all of those.
Pastor Jay Gooding, I have a question for the mayor. I'm the president of the Clergy Council of the 49th Precinct, been a part of that for 25 years. My question is, we have always had a relationship with our police commissioner, and even in your Donovan had an awesome relationship. We have no relationship with this new police commissioner. Also, my second question is, our community affairs, they're taking away our community affairs officers from our precinct. We just had a meeting, and you've been on our virtual meeting in our 49th, and we have a large contingent of our 49th clergy in here today, and we have the largest council, precinct council in the Bronx, our clergy council. We had Chief Rivera was on, and he promised us that it wasn't going to take our community affairs, and then just on yesterday we found out one of our community affairs, they're lowering our community affairs. What are we going to do?
Okay, all right. The mayor came in, you all didn't even say good morning. Someone offer a prayer or something. Faith-based. Okay, he with 5-year-old crossing the street. Well, but it's all good. Okay, so we're gonna definitely take all of those into consideration. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just go into the conversation. We'll have the moment of silent prayer after, because I don't want to stop it and go in. It's gonna kind of be awkward. We wanted to hear from the NYPD. Well, Mr. Mayor, you ready to take some of those questions? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you,
First of all, your question about the children walking the street, I must have attended, God knows how many town halls and conversations. I never heard that question before. You know? And so it's good that when you hold these town halls, we do a series of adult town halls, youth town halls, and just community town halls, because you're on the ground as a person in your profession, you're seeing things that many of us don't see and we take for granted. And I think that campaign is a smart campaign. And we want to speak with our Creative Commons people to see about this campaign. And your question about the police commission, I'm disappointed to hear that. You know, can you give me the mic again? So let's go into that little further. What's going on?
Yeah, we've invited her twice to come to our clergy meetings, and she seemed to have no relationship with clergy at all. This new police commissioner. And again, Sewell, Caban, Donovan was just an interim, but he called me on my birthday. You know, but she has no relation, and also removing our community affairs officers.
Right. So why don't we do this, Pastor? Next week sometime, let's set up, let's start with a Zoom, you know, with all, I know you do a big Zoom with all of the clergy. Let's start with that, and you should share directly what your feelings are. You know, you should get on and just have a, candid conversation. We don't believe in having filthy conversation. When y'all see me, you don't have filthy conversation. You tell me what you feel and what you believe, and so we're going to hold a Zoom to start and just have a, good family conversation on what you feel. Because I'm not going to interpret your feeling. I used to have an uncle, Uncle Elliot. He used to shake my hand, when I was a little boy. I used to think he was 7 feet tall. And he would shake my hand, and I'll say, Uncle, that hurts. He said, boy, that doesn't hurt you. How you going to tell me what hurts me? Nothing is worse than people telling you how you feel. And so if you feel as though you have no relationship with anyone in general, but specifically the police commissioner, we're not going to say to you, well, you're wrong. We need to understand why you feel that way, and we need to make sure that you walk away not feeling that way. And if that's the sentiments of others who are in this room, that's problematic. Because I made it clear from my time in office that the faith-based institutions throughout the city is crucial to me. It is part of everything we do, from housing to mental health, to migrants and asylum seekers, what we've done with our faith-based leaders, public safety. That is at the cornerstone. I don't just wear the t-shirt saying, in God we trust. I live in that spirit, in God we trust. That's who I am. So we're going to do that right, Pastor Rose, next week sometime. We get her team on board and we find out what's going on so that we can make sure that's rectified. Okay, thank you for bringing it. Any other questions? Yes, sister.
I have a question in terms of the marijuana while driving. Young people are now driving under the influence of marijuana. And what is being done to educate them about that? Because I'm driving in the highway and I'm getting concerned. Look over and I see the whole vehicle all smoked up. So I just want to hear from any of you what is being done to provide workshops, information centers, information resources for our youth.
You're so right. You're dead on. I always say this: idealism collides with realism. And when I was on the campaign trail, they were talking about this, legalization of cannabis, and I raised it. I was basically the odd man out, and everyone, basically, said, "Well, Eric, you're just not up to date in modern times. Legal cannabis is a problem. It's a problem. And particularly with our young people, it's a problem. When I speak with my teachers, they say, Eric, these students are high all the time. And we're ignoring the fact that the science shows that early continuous use of marijuana impacts the brain development of the child. It's hard enough sitting in the classroom and being educated. These children are smoking early in the morning. Before class, they're having a joint. During school, lunch, they're having a joint. After school, they're having a joint. And so we didn't factor that in. We passed this law. First of all, they passed it where they created a real public safety issue. We had to go back and ask them to correct it because so many illegal shops opened and those illegal shops were laced with so much that we had to go back. We got some support to change and modify some of the laws, and it was a fight. It was a fight. But we were able to close, I think we closed about 1,300 illegal smoke shops in our city, that became an attraction for violence, shootings, robberies, disputes, quality of life issues in the community. And so we do need to do a real education campaign about cannabis. And we need to, we need to actually get the chancellor on board and do a real education on what cannabis use, what it does, how it impacts your driving, how it impacts your ability to comprehend. We're with you. We're going to get the chancellor on board and even do a cannabis awareness week before the end of the school year, and just really pour on, because we passed a law and there was nothing. Everyone was saying that it's legal, but there was nothing to talk about the ramifications of the legality. There was no education at all. All of a sudden, it's everywhere. And I smell weed everywhere. Everywhere. And so we have to, with that law, we have to talk about the unintended consequences. So we're going to be on top of that. We're going to address that. You're going to jump dead on it.
No. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Let me see it. All right. So we have, we have the commissioner wants to respond, but very quickly, I got two persons that we need to ask a question. Who put in a question before is Brother Haji and then Dr. Bola. So Commissioner, you wanted to respond to that because DOE wants to respond to as well.
Yes, thank you. So we have programs in our schools, our options, our programs. We teach kids about drugs. We teach kids about gangs. We have a school out there that we might think these kids are young, but they might be 24 or 30 years old. Because remember, these kids are 18 and they leave high school, but they don't drive cars. And those who are in the schools, we do have programs that teach them about drugs and about gangs. So it is there. It's a collaboration with DOE too.
So I just wanted to add, thank you for that comment. Just last week, the Chancellor announced an initiative called NYCPS Cares, where family connectors and even student ambassadors are working together to engage with their peers in the community. And part of the student portion of that campaign is specifically around anti-vaping. We had students come to us, we heard this on our listening tour, and we had students come to us saying, we want to help, we want to be helpful in ending vaping in our community and with our young people. So we've taken some initial steps, but we're committed to going a whole way on supporting our young people as they confront these new realities of vaping and legalized cannabis.
Yes. And so we should put some young people in, because they were great. They still with us, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, yesterday. Young people, they want to be engaged. And so we should do a focus group, do something down at Gracie or City Hall, and they'll come in and say, how do we attack this cannabis issue? Because it is, you're dead on, sister, it is a real issue. It's a real issue.
And that should be from within the House of Worship too as well. You can gather those individuals and we can talk. So we'll have Brother Haji and then Dr. Bola.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you very much, Master Moros. Just wanted to start on behalf of Masjid Rahma here in the Bronx and Imam Kaba's congregation, actually, we can really thank you, Mr. Mayor, enough for your support, your entire team to our community. Most of you are aware of the tragedy that happened to our congregation a few years ago, actually days after the mayor took office, where we lost 70 members of our community on that tragic fire. I personally lost 5 members of my family. Sorry, I really appreciate that, but I'm here today to thank the mayor because my family and our entire congregation stand here today because of the support of this mayor. Right? Your entire team, Pastor Gilmore Rose, he's on speed dial. I mean, he calls me. I don't know where he finds the time to call me. Imam Kaba, text me. I mean, we truly appreciate this. It really helps us through this entire process, the healing process. All right, we can't be more thankful and more grateful for what you've done for us.
Thank you, thank you.
On a different note, we really need to continue the legacy of our families that we lost. Okay, the cornerstone of our community is the masjid. The masjid is a community center. It's where we pray. It's where we meet. It's where we teach our children the Islamic religion and our kids. We've been in this community with our part. We've lived there for over 40 years in this community. Right? We need to own this building. It is the biggest challenge for us in the community. The question is, how can your administration help us secure this building to continue providing the services that this building, this community center has been providing to the members of this community?
Now, what the building is currently what? What is the building now?
We're renting. We've been renting this particular building for 2 years.
Okay, so there's a pathway when you were to purchase a building and support from the city is done through our capital dollars. And so instead of reinventing the wheel, what I would like to do is put you in place with Mo Rosby in Brooklyn, who built out an entire Pakistani center. He put several buildings together. He did a good job. I think we gave him $1 million to do so. So there's a method on how to do it. And I also want to partner, have you sit down with Councilwoman Farrah Lewis, who we were able to get her the community center that we built in like 2 years. They in the process of doing so. And so this is where our interfaith community can come together. Those who have already done what you are trying to do, we need to get you in a room with them so they can be your mentor. So to go from the concept of owning the building to actually owning the building. So let's put together, let's give them a mentor. Mos Rosby is amazing. There's a whole food service program. Let's go over there. Let's visit the site. Let's see what he has done. And let him give you the steps that you can carry out as well. Because money not only could come from the mayor, it could come from the city council, it could come from the state lawmakers, and probably even your congressional delegation. And your borough president, it could come from. So once you create the dream, then you can go, like Mo Rosby did and Councilwoman Lewis did, you can go with a presentation. Here's what we want to do here. Here's how we want to help the community here. And this way we can take it from the plan to the actual implementation. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you for that. That's the structure we're talking about, the building. There's another phase there. The operational phase, the services. We just came out of Ramadan, for example, where a lot of meal was served at the masjid. I mean, thanks to the members of the community, there was a lot of donation from members of the community. There are some of us that are doing well, there are some of us that are not doing so well that need time. So, I don't know, but the plan is to have like a food pantry, I mean, to use our current facilities for that, because there's a lot of members in our community that are in need of stuff like that.
Yes. So true. And that's what you did even during the migrants and asylum seeking crisis. The number of those from the African diaspora, the Muslims who came through, received meals. These are the things that you do every day in our faith-based institution. You fill the gap. And we don't ignore that. We don't ignore that. So wherever we can assist, we want to be partners to assist you. We can't do without you.
Thank you. Okay, one last thing, Pastor Gilmore. I'll be remiss if I don't thank the mayor for appointing Brother Mohammed to that position. We consider him to be a member of our congregation. Brother Mohammed Amin. Thank you, brother. Thank you, mayor.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, thank you for that. Dr. Bola.
And so something like that also.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor.
How are you, brother?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Should I say congratulations to start with?
Yes, yes. God is good.
Thank you. All the time, yes. God is good all the time.
You know, before you speak, you know, I'm telling a cool video when I was first indicted. And they need to pull that video because I was in the rotunda of City Hall, and one of the reporters asked, he said, you know, when you're facing 35 years in jail, you know, why are you standing there seeming like everything is fine? And I basically said, because God is in charge. I'm going to bless the Lord at all times. His praise will continuously be in my mouth. And it doesn't matter what I am going through or what I'm experiencing. You are not going to convince me God took me this far just to take me this far. And, you know, I would say to New Yorkers over and over again, I just want to apologize I didn't go through that. But I got up every day and I fought for the city. And I'm 65 years old, so don't tell me if you reach the age that I have reached, and tell me there are not people in your life that really disappointed you because they did things they should not have done. But I know I didn't do anything that I should not have done. I apologize for what has happened. I'm not going to be convinced that because I was fighting for you, someone wanted to send me a message and say what they wanted to happen to me. But as long as I'm a child of God, no weapon formed against me. So I just wanted to, you ignited that in me. Yes.
It just came to my memory, I believe January 22nd, when the clergy had a prayer for you at the Islamic Cultural Center here in the Bronx. And there was a prophecy that this would be over.
Yes.
So that's why I said congratulations. Your question now. Right? Question. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Borough, for putting this together. Based on what I do and some of the reports that I have, and the recent report that was released by Robert Wood Foundation concerning the health ranking of the Bronx, we happen to be number 62 out of 62 counties in the state. So I want to bring this to your awareness and also to bring the clergy members to the same awareness. I have some things here which will ignite you when you talk to your congregation, especially concerning the health status in the Bronx, which we've been reported as being number 62 since 2009 when they first do the ranking. So I want to bring that to the entire congregation, and I will share it with them as well. Health is wealth. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And the borough president, President Gibson, has been big on not 62. It's, the ranking of being 62 and dealing with health issues is something that she has focused on. And I think our faith-based leaders, we need to have a more forward thinking around health with our parishioners, because you see it more than anyone. You're in the hospitals, you get these diagnoses, you hear about the health issues that your parishioners are experiencing, and we need to really reignite, like we did in Borough Hall, we need to reignite this whole health part of our ministries. You know, we need to talk about how health is real, and access to good, healthy food, access to healthy practices. The DOE, we started making sure our children get educated on, you know, the meals that they're doing. We re-examined some of the food that we're feeding in our hospitals. We started lifestyle medicine. We also have the first plant-based initiative with the default menu is plant-based. If people want to eat something else, they can. But we want to at least connect people to the food they eat and how that's part of the recovery process. 70% of 12-year-olds have early signs of heart disease. Heart disease is our #1 killer. And so if our babies at 12 are experiencing early signs of heart disease, that's problematic. You know, we have to stop feeding the crisis. And we're not diabetic, heart disease, arthritis, or high blood pressure. It is not because of your DNA. I keep saying it's because of your dinner. we gotta, you know, we have to be real about that stuff that's on our plate, you know. And so we want to partner with the church. And, you know, food has to look good, it has to taste good, but it has to be good. And there's a way to do that, you know. So we look forward to partnering with you on that.
So thank you so much, Dr. Bowen. Let me go to Bronx Borough Commissioner of DOT, Mr. Perez. You wanted to respond to that? Let's take that.
Hello. Sure, thank you. There was a question earlier about issues with the TLC driver and people who are crossing the street and not paying attention. I wanted to highlight that the city has a program to address traffic issues. It's called Vision Zero. Last year was the 10th year that Vision Zero was active. And actually just last week the mayor announced that Quarter-1 of this calendar year is the safest for traffic deaths across the board since we started recording those stats ever. The safest, yes. 2019 was actually the safest year by 1 death. So that's how close we are to meeting the record. We design streets to make them safe for people to get across the city. Sometimes that means shortening the crossing distance or changing the traffic timing of the signals. But there's also the education. So it's education, engineering, and enforcement. When it comes to education, the city has launched a significant educational campaign. And we have ads on bus stops, on buses themselves, on TV, on radios. I listen to the radio on my way to work every day, and 3 out of 5 times of the week I'll hear the commissioner on Hot 97 talking about traffic safety, telling pedestrians to look both ways, telling drivers to not speed, telling scooter riders to not ride on the sidewalk, and all those different usages across the city. So I just wanted to highlight that as an important accomplishment of this administration and this mayor.
Thank you for that. So we have the brother in the back, and then we have Pastor Strickland. You got a question about your property, right? Okay. So the brother in the black jacket.
Yeah.
Yes. How are you?
I am well. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Pastor Monroe, for being available when we have questions. My question deals with asylum seekers and migrants, right? Because for so long, being in the community, I've been watching a lot of shelters untouched by ICE. My fear is one day it's going to happen all at once. Now, as a result of that, most of the migrants are, or at least a lot of people in my community, are moving out into different neighborhoods, into different mosques, etc. Now, is there a program to support those mosques, meaning financial resources that are available, and also